So in the last class we discussed about NFS file system. Okay, so what is a NFS file system? What is the purpose of NFS file system? Okay, and those details. So just I'm recapping the once again. So NFS is nothing but network file system. NFS is nothing but network file system. The purpose of the NFS file system is very clear. If you want to share the data in between the two servers, in between the two Unix to Unix servers, Unix to Unix servers, okay, sharing of file system, we are using the NFS file system. So the purpose is very clear. So there is the two servers are there, more than two servers are there. We want to place the master and share, like this is the master server. We are creating one server as a master server. Inside we are creating the one directory. So this directory we are going to use it into the client mechanism. Nothing but let it be, this is a NFS client, something one /NFS client 2. So the file system is non-local file system. For example, NFS is a non-local file system. It is not located into the directly from the storage area. Nothing but the file system which is created and which is we are using into the file system, it is non-local file system. So the non-local file system is called the NFS file system. The purpose is very clear. What is advantage here means, if you want to share the data in between the client to master and master to client, we can easily share. We can reduce the traffic, we can improve the performance. Not only that one, we can avoid the unnecessary confusion, make it as a centralized data. So this is a very important if you are dealing with a large portion of data, or if you want to share the data between the oftenly from the master to client. So in the last example I explained about the bank system. So the bank system is a very best example. For example, every day if you taking the any one of the bank, SBA, so it is having the number of branches. So head office will be into the Delhi. So branch offices it is there into the throughout India. So every day by 6 o'clock after business closing hours, they want to share the data of whatever the data is happen for the day business. Nothing but how many transactions are happening, how many data deposits are happening. Each and everything need to update it to the so particular data. Usually sometime back, so people are going with an offline mechanism. Offline mechanism means what? People are writing the files and sending to the through couriers and all. So that is one of the mechanism. Without NFS means what exactly we need to do it? We need to create everything data. We need to upload into the shared mechanism. Uploading is nothing but what? So how we are uploading into the Google Drive or uploading into the cloud drive. So again this is again double the work. For example, just think of that. Now by 6 o'clock manager started uploading and he left the office. So due to some power issue or some network issue, the upload was not successfully completed. So there is a data loss has been happened, or the data is not completely uploaded. So that is one of the major problem into the network, and moreover it will increase the load on your CPU. Why you need to increase the load and why you need to increase the network? So to avoid that one, what we are doing, we are creating the one folder into the share folder itself. There we are uploading our data. It is very simple and we can able to handle. Means you are mounting the foreign user type. You are mounting the non-local user, nothing but non-local file system into your server, and you are updating. So especially when you people are going for the interviews, if that interview is a technically means the guy compulsory will ask you NFS file system. So there is one common question will come into the picture, whether have you created NFS file system architecture master and client. So most of the times we haven't get a chance to install the master and client. So that is a very rare cases. In my career I received one or two times. That is for the not a new servers. That is for the little bit of okay customized servers. Nothing but there is some need is there specifically. So like a development server, test servers. Production servers, this type of the environment created at the time of architect level only. Most of the times the chances are very less. So don't take unnecessarily pressure saying that yes we implemented the NFS architecture. No, that is not. So instead of that one you can convey the information. We haven't get a chance to implement it, but I am having the knowledge on how to implement the architecture. So once you are saying that question, the first question will come you that what is the purpose of NFS? Okay, and they will ask you the purpose, and the secondary thing is that they will ask you that what is the sharing file system in between Unix to Unix, why we are using Unix to Unix. So that is the secondary question. So these are the two questions will come into the picture. So let me go to the implementation stage, then we can understand how to implement the file system, what is the purpose of that, what is the fundamental of the things, each and everything. So if you go into the implementation stage, so majorly here two things we need to do it. One is that master, second thing is that client. So master side only we will be having the little bit of commands will be there. So the first thing is that we need to install the NFS package. Okay, secondary thing is that we need to start the service and enable the service. Third thing is that we need to create a file. Okay, so fourth thing is that give a permissions. We need to give the permission to the file. And fifth thing is that give the access to the firewall side also we need to add. And there is a one more file called /etc export fs. So there is a one configuration file will be there. So make sure when you are learning any topic, the basic fundamental thing is that what is the where the file is located, where the data is located. When you going to the user management /etc password, when you going to the /etc password and /etc shadow. In the same way, here also /etc export fs is the configuration file of your NFS, where the data is storing into the your server. So here you need to declare the file system details. You need to declare the file system details. Once you declare the file system details, you need to do the export fs-rav. So the purpose of the export -rav is nothing but you are liberally giving the privileges exporting the file system. Nothing but you are opening the gates type. So once this is done from the server end, client end, it's a very simple. The client end again you need to install the NFS and you need to start and enable the services. Third point is that you need to mount the NFS drive. So this is the step-by-step process of executing the NFS. So in the interview time also, if someone will ask you that, what are the question he is going to ask you that? So what is the package he want to install? Why we are making the enabling of services? Okay, so what is the purpose of /etc export fs file? And what is the export fs-rav command? And the client side also, how you are going to mount the file system. So these are the basic questions will come into the real time. So let me implement the things. then we can understand what is the purpose of the commands and all. So I'm taking the two servers here. So right now, one is that I'm having the master server. This is my master server, and the second server is that. So this is the my client server. So master server, first of all, I'm going to check the yum repo list all. So yum repo list all is the command. It will list you out your repository information. So in my server, I will be having some repositories which are into the enabled and which are last time we created the some repositories. So now if you go into the technically, we need to install the NFS star and policy utils. So these are the two things we need to be installed. So let it be what I'm going to do. It means let me take up yum install NFS star I given. I'm not bothering about anything here. I given a NFS star. And the secondary thing is that policy utils. So this is related to the Python script. It will help you to connect the environment. So here two types of the files I am planning to install. One is that NFS, one is that policy core utils. So I install. So I am not giving the full-fledged command and all. Directly I given. Okay. So local BS. Okay. 1/etc. So I'm installing the package here. So it is searching into the my repository. So as per the steps, first I need to install the package. So that is the first stage of execution the things. Once we started, then we need to create a share folder. So particular share folder, we are giving the privileges 755. So 755 is the purpose of that user group others. We are giving the executive permissions to that. And the third thing is that if we are going with SC Linux, we need to install this one. This is a very rare case, but the purpose is that SC Linux in your environment using. Very rarely some banking environment they will use. In the time we are giving the this privileges CMAs. So the purpose is that just to give the privileges, means accept the firewall level, and /etc export level we need to define this one, and we need to give the RAV and enable it. So let me see that it has taken the time to install. So if you're seeing the commands, there is one command called show mount -e. This command is very useful, especially when you are dealing with NFS file system. If you want to know that from that server is any files are sharing, nothing but the server is sharing any type of the files and all. If you want to know the information, means we are using the show mount command. Show mount -e space, usually we are giving the IP address. If you don't want to go with a specific server, means we are using the -v only. Export fs -v is nothing but this is a parallel command to the show mount -v. It will list you out what are the services are there, what are the services are listing, everything it will list you out. So these are the different type of the mechanism. Firewall level we are adding. So it is searching for the package. See that yum install nfs star. Since we are having the multiple files, it is taking a little bit of the time to fetch the packages. So let me see that here. First of all, we are installing the package. We are creating the directory. This directory become the from the server end. Nothing but server end we are creating this directory, and that directory we are giving the full-fledged permissions. We are giving the full-fledged permission for the directory, and this particular directory we are updating into the /etc export fs file. /etc export fs file, if you can see that here, this is your directory and this is the server range. So what exactly here we are doing? For example, 192.168.220.0. 0 is nothing but in that range. We are giving the range. For example, in production servers, we are having the range of the servers. What is the range of the servers? For example, we are installing for the particular range of the servers. So let it be right now we install the packages. I install the packages. So next I will go for the systemctl status nfs. So here we can go with the nfs hyphen. So it is running and it is enabled also. The services are enabled already. Okay, if you can see that here it is enabled and it is running. So there is no errors into the thing. So next step is that I need to create a directory. So srv nfs share d, this is the one of the directory I'm planning to create. mkdir -p. What is the purpose of the p we are using? The p command will help you out. Go with a structure wise. Step by step you need to install. For example, srv, okay, nfs shared. So this is one of the pack, nothing but directory, nothing but inside srv install nfs, inside nfs install the shared. To go by step, make sure we are informing to the operating system by using the p. P is nothing but pattern. Particular pattern only you need to create it. ls-l particular directory listed. So once we created the directory, we are giving the permissions to the particular user. So if you can see that here, there is a user called nfs nobody. So first of all, user is there or not? nfs nobody. nfs nobody. There is a user is there or not? There is a by default user is there. For example, in your cases, if the user is not available means you need to add the user. You need to add the user. So in my case, user is available. So that is the reason I am not going with the any creation of user. But in our case, if the user is not available means you have to create a user. So once we create a user, so the purpose is very simple. User there, and we created a directory. Now we are going with the permissions. So nfs nobody, only this user only having the access to the particular shared mechanism. So why we are giving the only for particular user? The purpose is very simple. It will, we don't want to give for everyone. That NFS nobody is the one of the user. He will be having the full-fledged permission control, full of control on the server level. So that is the reason we are giving the NFS nobody. So that's once we install. So then we need to give the full-fledged permissions. So chmod 755. Why we are giving the permissions? If you giving the permission, user can able to take up the data. The purpose is, for example, if you want to update the data, if you want to modify the anything, they need to have a permissions. So if the user complains to you in one of the ticket, the NFS folder is not have the permissions. So in the time you need to come here, you need to check this directory, you need to give the permissions. So this is one of the case. So once we created, then so this is one of the command. Basically we are using into the, if we are using SLADM, so there is nothing harm. CMage is one of the command. We are giving the privileges for the server level. So this command is not harmful. If you want to means we can execute, but in production environment this command we are using very rarely. So this command will give the privileges for the particular directory NFS level. So otherwise we can skip this one into the production. So coming to the top, I install the package, I enable the things, I install the directory, I created the user, I given the privileges, I given the full-fledged access to the file system. Secondary thing is that I need to define the particular file system into the cat/etc export, cat/etc export fs. So this is the by default exports, not export fs, export. So this is the by default configuration file where our data will be updated. So first of all, here already for me data is there. If the data is not present means, we need to add a entry here. Whatever the data entry here, it is stating that it is ready to share the environment. Means a client can able to connect by using only this shared place. If the data is not there here means you are not able to connect to the outside the world. So first of all, we are going with a, you can see that here this is your shared folder, srv nfs shared, and if you can see that here your IP address is that 192.168.220.137. But why I given a 0 here? 0 is a representation of range, nothing but whoever the clients they want to use it, nothing but in this application range, nothing but from 0 to 24, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, till that some range, last digit only changing. So I'm replacing once again, last digit only replacing. Everyone will be having the read write access and it will automatically sync. Means the data whatever it is placing into the master, automatically it will sync into the client. And so these are the no squash is nothing but giving the root privileges, and this is for the security giving to the particular file system. We need to think of these two primary things. One is that read write, sync, and the insecure this one. Sync is one of the major file system we are updating into the file server level. If the sync is not there, for example you updated into the master, it is not reflecting into the client immediately. So if the user is reflecting, the data is not reflecting into the client means probably the configuration file you are not defining you of this particular sync command. So these are the things you need to be defined. So how to edit this one? Very simple. I'm using the nano. I'm using the nano. So you need to use the nano, and you need to update the your configuration file. Control O, enter, Control X. So I updated the configuration file. Let me validate whether it is updated or not. It is there. Okay. So once it is updated, export fs-ra. So export fs-rav is nothing but the command will help you out, list you out the okay whatever the things are. So this is the particular share folder. It is ready to connect with a number of client, or show mount -e is nothing but, so this is also one of the command. It will show you the proof. This is the particular folder we created, and it is ready to mount with the file system level. So, and once we added, there is a one more command we need to be make sure firewall. Why firewall is very important? For example, every server. So by end of the day, if you can diagram representation side, this is the one server. So this server will be having the one firewall. So you are ready to share, but the thing is that your firewall also you need to update that I am sharing the one folder with my trust only, trusting users only. Don't block the content. If you want to make sure means you are updating to the firewall. So firewall updation is nothing but firewall cmd. Just you are updating the this particular commands into the folder. One is that nfs rac. So here two things. One is that service name. RPC bind is one of the major network related service. This will help you to connect the server through internet based. Mount D is nothing but we are using the mount services. So that is the reason. So these are the dependent services we are using into the production environment. So this is a direct service. And reloading. Why we are reloading? Once we added, we are refreshing the environment. So now all the services are I added. Nothing but simply I'm saying that I'm informing to the my watchman, or in my apartment my watchman, stating that there is some guests are coming to my home at 11 o'clock. Don't stop them. Okay, just you can route it to the my apartment. So at the time of living also, don't stop them, you can leave it. Means we are giving the updated to our security guard. That's the same thing we are updating to the firewall level also. Okay, so once it is there, so just check it out once again. Show mount, it is showing everything right. Export V, once again everything means server side we done. Server side what we done? We install the package, we enable the services, we created the directory, we can give it the permissions. /etc export also we added the nt, and RAV also we added, and firewall also we added. So all the steps are completed. So coming to the service level, nothing but client level. How you are connecting to the client level? Go to the client. So I'm just installing the package here. So the client side also nothing but you need to install the NFS package. So I already am installing the NFS package. అర్థమవుతుందో చెప్పేది? So package is installing. So this is the advantages of yum command. For example, if you are going with rpm command, the dependent packages what is there, it is not installing. But if you're going with the yum command, you can install the number of things into the one shot. So that is the major advantage. Means you are not bothering about the dependent packages. The dependent packages will be automatically pulled by the your yum only. For example, if you can see that here, these are the primary packages upgraded. These are the things are installed in one shot. So that is one of the major advantages of yum. Systemctl status nfs. So package is installed and the service is running and it is enabled. For example, what we are doing, if not enable with, we are doing enable. So this is a very important. As I said you earlier, if you're not enabling means your service is not connecting, nothing but after reboot your service won't be come back. So that is the reason we need to make sure that it should be enabled. So client side, what I need to do it, I install the package, I enable the services, I need to go for the mounting. So before going for the mounting, first of all, if you can see that this entry, the entry is very simple here. If you can see that this is the entry. This is the entry. How I need to mount it? If you can see that here, this is the your master server. What is your master server IP? IP R 137. In 137, you are sharing the one folder. You are taking the this entire thing is as a source. This entire thing as a source, and /mnt is nothing but your destination directory. /mnt is your destination directory. So let me go here. This is your source and destination directory. Mount -t. T is nothing but type. For example, when I was explaining about the LVM, we use the only mount command, not a T. Only mount source and destination. So when you're going with the NFS file system, Samba file system, okay, we are using the -t. T is nothing but type. Mount -t NFS source and the destination. Source is nothing but what? The master server package. So let it be here. So I'm into the client server. Okay. So I'm just checking /mnt is there or not. No, it is not. Nothing is mounted. Okay. I'm using mount -t source. What is the source? This is the source. Source space destination. And after T, what is the type? NFS v4. NFS v4 is a version. So not v4, NFS4. So this is the file system df-th/mnt. So automatically your file system is mounted. So if you're going to the mnt file system, you can now create a data. Let it be. You are into the so this is a folder, right? So data came into the picture. Am I created the data? No, right? Let it be. I'm creating the some data. Touch 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So this is the data I created into the server level. Okay, let me check into the client level. The data is reflected. So how the data is reflected here? So because of the entry whatever given into the sync command. So the sync command entry is there, right? This sync. The sync command will help you out to sync the data immediately, fraction of seconds. For example, in this case, your client came into the picture stating that your data is not reflecting immediately, or your data is not reflecting immediately into from the client to the server. So what could be the reason? This could be the reason. So you need to think that when interviews ask also, probably in NFS file system the sync command is not there. That we need to be check it out. So we need to explain to them in this way. And the secondary thing is that, so read write. So you are giving the read write, nothing but you can able to copy the data, you can able to modify the data. For example, only view you need to give means you need to give RO. Read only means the data they can able to see that, they can able to view that, but they cannot modify the things and all. So this is a way how you are installing the particular NFS file system. So there is some of the troubleshooting issues will come into the production issue. For example, one of the requirement is that let it be. So this is one of the file system. Right now everything is fine. Now the primary troubleshooting is that they done the some of the patching. After the patching, the client came into the picture stating that there is a one file system, NFS file system /mnt. It is not mounted. So it is not mounted means what? Exactly, probably it is not updated into the FS tab. So here data is updated. For example, if not updated also, we need to check it out. For example, here commented. So we need to be uncomment. So that is one of the thing, and you need to try for mount-a. Okay. So another thing is that there is one more issue. You are trying to mount the NFS file system. It is not mounted. So you try the mount-a. It is mounted. Well and good. If not mounted. So what could be the reason? There is a reason because of your master server you have to be ping. First of all, your master server is reachable to the client server or not. For example, go with the diagram. Here you are going with the NFS file system. Whatever there here, you are accessing here. That's well and good. For example, in between these two servers, how about the connectivity? Network connectivity is there or not? We need to be checked out. For example, this network connectivity is disturbed due to the some of the reason. That could be anything. Network issue, memory issue, or some network upgradation, LAN issue, whatever may be. Automatically your server is not connecting to your client. Then the data is not pingable means you are not able to do it. So in this case, whom we need to be contact? We need to contact to the storage team. So usually we are connecting to the storage team in any environment. So we need to connect to the storage team. So don't think that everything we are only performing. So we are not performing everything end to end. There is some of the cases dependency with the network team, dependency with the storage team, some other thing. For example, in the coming to this case, this particular IP is not pingable means there is a problem with your server, or there is a problem with your IP address. Whatever may be, there is a network issue will be there, or there is a storage issue will be there. What could be the reason? Any reason your things are not pingable. So when the user is come and ask you about it is not mounted to the file system also, you need to come from the chronological order. Nothing but first of all, you need to check whether the service is running, package is there, service is running and enabled, and it is properly mounted. Try with one more mount command. It is not happening means go with the expansion. Nothing but it is connected to the server or not. So this is the way how we are going to the server level. So hope it is a clear. Even doubts unnaya? సో లాస్ట్ టైం నేను చెప్పా కదా, ఎన్ఎఫ్ఎస్ ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది మనకి చాలా సింపుల్గా ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ విత్ బ్యాంకింగ్ క్లయింట్స్, ఫైనాన్షియల్ క్లయింట్స్, చాలామంది ఇట్స్ అ కాస్ట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్. దానివల్ల ఇక్కడ నా ప్రజెంట్ ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్ వచ్చి 19 GB ఉంది. ఓకే, బట్ in my environment we are using 2 TB of terabyte also, only for NFS, 2 TB of terabyte. So just think of that, 2 TB of terabyte ఉన్న ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్స్ కూడా వెరీ లార్జ్ పోర్షన్ ఆఫ్ డేటా మనం మెయింటైన్ చేస్తుంటాం. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ద వన్ ఆఫ్ ద రీజన్. సో ఎన్ఎఫ్ఎస్ ఉండడం వల్ల మనకి ఇంకో ఇష్యూ కూడా జనరల్గా వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఏంటి అంటే, యూజర్ కంప్లైంట్ దట్ when you trigger df-h, he is not getting the output. సో df-h అని కొడుతుంటే లేకపోతే ఎనీ df-th అవుట్పుట్ రావట్లేదు. సో ఎప్పుడన్నా ఒక యూజర్ ఇంటర్వ్యూయర్ ఈ క్వశ్చన్ అనగానే దట్ కుడ్ బి ద రీజన్ విత్ షేర్డ్ ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్స్. షేర్డ్ ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇక్కడ చూసుకుంటే ఈ ప్రతి ఒక్క ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్ అన్నీ కూడా లోకల్ ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్స్. మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సర్వర్, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సర్వర్ స్టోరేజ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ మౌంటెడ్. సో కమింగ్ టు ద దెర్ ఈస్ అ వన్ ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ అ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ server. It is the data is shared from the somewhere, we are mounted for the temporary purpose. So that could be the reason, it is not mounting. So your operating system is trying or waiting for it is coming back. So to avoid this situation, what is the resolution? First we need to check it out whether the IP address is pingable, or we need to go with the show mount -e. Anything is shared by the anyone? No. So here it is shared means okay. If not shared means there is some issue. To avoid this issue, what we are going to do it? By the time we are mounting the file system. Mounting means we are adding the hash symbol. So automatically your file system will be mounted without NFS. Without NFS it will be mounted. NFS will be mounted if you want to sort out the issue. Hope it's clear. అర్థమైందా నందిని గారు? అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది.
సో ఇది ఓన్లీ యునిక్స్ బేస్డ్ సర్వర్లోనే వాడతాము, యునిక్స్ టు యునిక్స్ మాత్రమే వాడతాము. ఓకే, సో ఇది ఒక్కసారి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి. ఐ డోంట్ నో వెదర్ యూ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్. ప్లీజ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి ఒకసారి.